Chris, you had 5 horses go around the course proper, and obviously great to get a feel before the main race. Let's start with our foreteller.
Well, foreteller, he was sort of a 50-50 decision whether we run him in the Cox Plate or wait till next week in the McKinnon at Flemington on Derby Day. So we've decided to take that option and run in the McKinnon rather than the Cox Plate this week. I think realistically that's his race. He's certainly a very good horse in his own right, but I see the Cox Plate being a really good race. And that could detract some of the class from the McKinnon, which is still $1 million race. So we're going to go to the McKinnon with him.
He gets a bit of a freshen up, so that obviously can help him as well.
I think so. Yeah, it'll be 3 weeks between runs. His last start was very good behind the mighty horse, Atlantic Jewel. And I'm not saying she's a certainty on Saturday, but she certainly had some class edge over him last start.
And you've got Sacred Falls.
Yeah, well, he was another one we had to make a decision this morning, and he worked well enough to run on the Cox Plate, but whether he worked well enough to win a Cox Plate's another story. So we're going to take the easy option with him, Zach. He'll run in the Crystal Mile on Saturday here at Moonee Valley, and then 2 weeks into the $1 million Emirates Handicap at Flemington.
You think he could be quite competitive in the Christopher Mile?
Yeah, I do. He's been a little bit slow of finding his form this preparation. The last 10 days he has turned the corner. In particular, since he's been in Melbourne, he's just thrived. But prior to coming to Melbourne, we had the chance to work him left-handed, which is the direction they run down here. And he's been excelling since working that direction. So for whatever reason, he's just turned the corner. Not quite enough to run on the Cox Plate, but certainly well enough to win a Crystal Mile, and then obviously on to the Emirates Mile after that.
He hasn't been winning by big lengths up in Sydney, but I mean, do you think he could handle Melbourne better than Sydney?
Well, he's one left-handed, which is your Melbourne direction in New Zealand. He's a Group 1 winner at that direction, and he's a very good horse. We saw him beat Piero in the Doncaster in the autumn. He only needs to get somewhere near that form, and he would easily win a Crystal Mile at least.
And you've got Arenosa and very, very good storming home last start.
Yeah, she's a terrific horse when she's right, and it was good to see her come back from her spell in good shape with that win. That was weight for age level, obviously Group 2. But there's some handy horses in there all the same. Steps up to the big league, being a Group 1 Manikato Friday night. And the likes of Summer Ready will be very hard to beat, but she deserves her chance in a Group 1 race, and we'll give it to her on Friday night.
Was she meant to get back that far last start?
Yeah, that's her style. So she just likes to be left alone in the early half of the race. That's just her. And every horse is different, and we've found that with her, and it seems to be the key to see her finish her races off strongly. Also likes to get to the outside of other horses. She's not the same when she's cluttered up amongst other horses. So I think the Manikato will suit. There'll be plenty of pace on. Maybe she's the giant killer coming down the outside of the Moonee Valley track on Friday night.
Let's hope so. Then we've got Opinion.
Yeah, he's an English import. I think he's a pretty handy horse. He's well rated in Australia, and what I say by that is he can get into the handicap races at a nice level, and we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to take an easy option at Moonee Valley on Saturday, and that'll be an open 2,040 metre race, not the Cox Plate. He should get in close to the limit weight and be a nice starting point for him here in Australia, which is a big transition from the UK. And all going to plan, he'll run in the Queen Elizabeth on the last day of the Flemington Carnival.
Taking the preparation obviously into Australia quite slowly just to see how he handles it, obviously.
Yeah, if I could describe it to the everyday person, it's like a massive dose of jet lag, and it's like a 2-week jet lag period, and then they've got to try and adapt to the totally opposite season. So they're going from winter to summer, or they're in fact going from autumn to winter over in England at the moment. So here they're coming from spring to summer. For a horse, that's massive. They're controlled by the light, the hours of light, temperatures and things like that. So it's very confusing them, almost for about 12 months. So it's really hard for them to come over here and adapt, and therefore you need to make it as easy as possible for them.
Let's hope we can see a lot more of opinion then. And then we've got Catkins, and she's been competitive as soon as she's come down here and every race she's been in.
Yeah, she tries her heart out, and that was the reason for scratching last Saturday. She drew 16. It would have broken her heart, so to speak. So let's hope for a better draw on Saturday over the mile, which is the first time we've tried her at that distance. But I think she's ready for it. She's very fit, and as you said, she never runs a bad race.
Couple winners on Saturday, must have been very good, and Boban coming again from the Epsom handicap and just looked just fantastic.
Yeah, on reflection of the day, it was a good day, but we were disappointed not to probably finish in the first three in the Caulfield Cup. I think they all had their chance except perhaps Hawkesbury and Moriarty. They both drew wide, which was the telling factor in the end, but it was good to be a part of that great race, and it's just made us eager to get back for more. But yeah, Boban's win was great, so was Red Tracer. It's always good to have a strong presence in Melbourne.
Royal Descent was a little hiccup after the race?
No, she, well, nothing serious. She just pulled up a little bit jarry, which is just the feeling of the hard tracks, and you can just feel it in her muscles. She's just very tense, and I think that's telling us that she's had enough. So we won't go any further with her in the spring. She'll be looked after now and get ready for the autumn. And I think we'll set her for a race like the Doncaster Handicap mile race. I think you'll see a pretty handy horse come back in 6 months' time.